Hey y'all, it's Dri. I haven't lost anything these last few days, but I did make a decision. You see, this time, for the first time, I decided to stop waiting to see if I was going to be chosen. And instead, I acted first. And in doing so, I chose myself. And that sounds clean when I say it like that. But it wasn't clean, because when I chose myself and had to walk away, what I was walking away from, it mattered. There was connection there. There was curiosity there. And it was something that was real enough that it had begun to require my discernment. And I felt that. I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't. Because choosing myself, it did not feel like empowerment in the moment that I did it. It felt like grief wrapped in clarity, like, I don't know. It felt like sitting in the quiet after deciding I would not hover in uncertainty any longer. And it wasn't because I was rejected, and not because I wasn't wanted, but because I refused to pause my own forward progression and motion while somebody else calibrated and figured out what theirs was gonna be. That's different. I didn't walk away in anger. I didn't burn the whole place down. And for the first time, I didn't collapse. I simply moved away. And what surprised me was this. The power, it wasn't in the exit. It was actually in what happened afterwards. You see, there's a stillness that follows self-selection. It's a moment where there is no scanning, no wondering, and no subtle checking for signs that you might be wrong. It was just me standing in my own decision. I felt an ache, and I held myself with it. And that was anew for me. I didn't reach back for reassurance. I didn't try to change my mind and make it all better. I didn't soften my standard for anybody's consideration. And I didn't reinterpret reality to make it easier for myself to stay. Instead, I chose myself, and I absorbed the consequence of that choice in real time. And in accepting the consequence of my choice, something inside of me recalibrated. My energy shifted. Ollie, stop barking. My energy shifted, and it wasn't outwardly, it was internally. I could feel the difference between waiting for something and leading my own trajectory. I stopped orienting around someone else's timeline. I stopped orbiting around potential. And I stopped negotiating with uncertainty. And in that space, I could feel my posture change completely, because my self-respect became visible. And now I don't have to announce it. It just carries itself. When I chose myself without any theatrics, without any bitterness, and without a performance, I realized that I shifted the mirror, because the way I was received shifted, and the way I was seen shifted. And because I was no longer subtly asking to be validated, and that was because I already validated myself, I could see that there was a frequency that came with that. Not a loud one, not a dramatic one. It's a steady kind of frequency. And that steadiness in its frequency, it changes attraction. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to attract. That's not the case at all. It's just because I am no longer available for ambiguity. I think that's the right word. But yeah. There is grief in walking away from something that mattered, that wasn't toxic, wasn't escalated. There were no red flags. And it mattered. But grief, that doesn't cancel out alignment. It does confirm that I was invested. Absolutely. The version of me who can feel an investment and still honor my standard, that's a different version than who I used to be. And you see, this is not about ego. It's about authorship. Because when I stopped waiting to be chosen, I remembered that I am the one curating my entire experience. My life is not something that happens to me. It is something that I season. It is something that I shape with my decisions. And it is something I direct with my standards. I am the one creating my experience. And the moment I stopped collapsing around just this one possibility, I could feel the space around me open. And with that, my vision expanded. And I could feel my energy become mine again. There was no ruminating, no revisiting. I could simply label the grief what it was, acknowledge that it mattered, remember that my standard is the priority, and in that, everything dissolved where I could just continue on my way in my own experience again. Because I am not here to audition, and I am not here to hover. I am definitely not here to hope someone else recognizes what I already know. Because now I choose. And that choice reorganizes everything entirely. The most powerful part of all of this, it wasn't the boundary. It was the stability that came after it. It was the way I could sit in my own company without second guessing myself, replaying possibilities and scenarios and how it could have gone different. It was the way my nervous system stayed regulated completely, and there was a total absence of bracing. And with that came the quiet confidence that followed. I did not wait. I did not beg. I did not shrink. For the first time, I selected myself. And in doing that for the first time, I felt my life respond back to me. So now, I'll say this to whoever needs to hear it. The moment you stop waiting to be chosen and you choose yourself instead, the mirror is going to change. Self-respect is going to become visible not only to yourself but to your whole environment. And attraction, that reorganizes, and your life will begin to align around the standard that you have set for it, not a standard that you negotiate. Yeah. It just shifts the whole lens. It shifts everything. I no longer feel attachment to anyone except me. And that is the biggest aha moment of all. Because saying you choose yourself and actually choosing yourself are two completely, entirely different things. I'm excited. Yes, I'm saying goodbye. But with this goodbye for the first time, I know that I'm open. I am able to receive. And this world, this experience, it's in the palm of my hand. And I now have the wherewithal to make it whatever it is that I choose that I want it to be. That's the message that I have for y'all today. Where there is love, there is light. I'm sending my love to you. I'll see you guys real soon.